friends, it's Teresa and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the books that I have either been given as a present or purchased from, I want to say September 2023 to about January 2024. I'm not including my ARCs in here, though I feel like one of these days I will include the ARCs that I do receive. I don't know. It doesn't feel, I don't know. But because I'm feeling lazy right now, I don't have the stack of books in front of me, which means editing Teresa will have to suffer, as she always does when I have a lot of books to talk about and I don't feel like holding them up here. I'll probably have them all physically here for an unhaul, because all the books I'll be unhauling are in a bin and not scattered amongst the shelves. So, but let's just get into it, because I do have a handful of books to talk about, and I will be talking about them in the order that I received them and not in any groupings or what may have yous. I also won't be talking about my in-depth thoughts on these books. I have a review. Some of these books do have reviews and vlogs on them, so you guys can see them for yourselves. Starting off, I am going to talk about my cats have the zooms, and instead of like running from one spot to another, they're like precariously running through my tripod, because that's what cats do. So, but first book I'm going to start off is a finished copy I actually received from the publisher, and that is Damned If You Do by Alex Brown. So thank you very much to the publisher for giving me a finished copy of this book. It actually is I think it was one of my favorites or honorable mentions of 2023. Now this is a YA comedy horror following young Cordelia, who has just not had the best of it. Her abusive father left them when she was 10 and kind of left her and her mother in this very weird depressive state. Now at the week of her on the week of her town's founding week, I guess, founding day, she is like summoned by a demon who is collecting on a debt that she made way back when, that she doesn't even really remember when she made it, and now she has to fight another demon and trap him in this little Maleficent doll from Disneyland. I have a full-length review on this one, so you guys can go ahead and check my thoughts on it if you guys were ever at all interested. Highly recommend it. It was such a good time. The next book is Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I am going to read this year. I have heard so many things about R.F. Kuang's writing, and I've been holding off all of the books like Babel and Yellowface because I want to read Poppy War first, and I want to get like, I just want to start with Poppy War. But I don't know too much about this. All I know is kind of like it's a historical fantasy based off of like a certain war, I believe, in China. I need to do my research. But everyone that I know has loved this book. I have a physical copy of this book. It's staring me down somewhere on these shelves, I want to say. Yeah, it's right there. So I'm really hoping that I get a chance to get to it this year. In fact, I will get to it this year. I'm putting it out into the universe now. I am going to read this book this year. Next we have Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman. This is like the prequel, I want to say, to Practical Magic. It follows, I think, one of the family members who has the curse on them. I don't think this follows their direct descendant, like their direct ancestor yet, but that's kind of the spin-off from Practical Magic. I read Practical Magic a few years ago. I love the movie. The book and I just didn't like. The book and the movie are very, very different. I want to reread the book and see if maybe my thoughts have changed, because I think I gave it a 3 or a 3.5. But I want to read this prequel. It sounds right up my alley. It sounds just perfect, and I do want to get to know more about the family curse and what occurred and all that fun stuff. So fingers crossed I get to it this year. I'm sure I will make time for it in my October months. So the next book I purchased is Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson. I have a vlog on this, guys, so you guys can you guys can watch all of my thoughts on it. This is a YA, I want to say like contemporary mystery almost, following young Claudia, whose best friend Monday has not come home after the summer months. As time passes, it seems like Claudia is the only one still looking for Monday, and we're trying to figure out what happened to Monday and why she went missing, where she is, and what is going on. I have all the, sorry, like my eye is switching because these contacts are not the same contacts I typically buy, which are like moisturizing. So this eye has been painfully dry for the past like couple weeks now. So it's just like twitching because it needs hydration. Love it. But I did adore this book. Like I said, I have a vlog on it, so you guys can watch all of my thoughts as I piece together what exactly happens to Monday. I want to say it is spoiler free, but if there are slight spoilers, I'm telling y'all now, there might be slight spoilers. So just keep that in mind, and I think I have a review of this up on Goodreads and Storygraph as well, so check those out as well. The next one is The Very Irregular Society of Witches by Sangu Madana. This is an adult cozy fantasy. I don't know too much about it. All I know is that there's like a school of witches and all this stuff. I've heard lots of good things about this one, and I will be picking it up in the very near future. Because after I read Plain Bad Heroines, I am going to need a breather because it's taking me like a month and a half to read this dang thing. I need like a nice like break from anything relating to that thick book. The next one is Astrid Parker Doesn't Fall by Ashley Herring Blake. This is the like spin-off book from Delilah Green Doesn't Care, following her stepsister Astrid as she maneuvers through her now failed engagement and all the things in between. I'm really excited for this. I really love Delilah Green Doesn't Care. I believe there's an Iris Kelly one as well, so I'm excited to see where this character falls in. So I'll keep you guys posted on all my thoughts. And maybe when I finish the series, I'll talk about the series in depth in a series review, which I have not done in quite some time. The next one is a nonfiction, and that is All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. This is a YA nonfiction memoir following George M. Johnson's life as they come out as a kind of like as a young queer black person in their neighborhood, in their community. I really adored this book. I also have a vlog on this one, so you guys can watch that and see more of my in-depth thoughts and discussions and my tears. So many tears. I highly recommend this book if you guys have not read it yet. I need more like YA nonfiction memoirs to hit the market, just because I think it's important for young adults, kids, teens, to see more real life instances, I guess, of people of either themselves or people not within their own communities. I think it's a very important thing to do, so highly recommend if you guys have not read it yet. The next one is Fiancé Farce by Alexandra Bellfleur. This is an adult romance following Tandy and Gemma. Tandy is a young woman who is trying to just, keep her head down and run her family's bookstore business, but unfortunately her family keeps asking her, and is it Tandy or Tansy? I think it's Tansy. But keeps asking her about a partner, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, so she lies and says she's dating this young model off of like the romance cover books named Gemma West. Lo and behold, Gemma actually is part of her life due to a wedding she attends, and the secret is out, but instead of like announcing it to the world, Gemma's like, let's pretend to be engaged, because I have some things I need to get done, and you are the solution to these things. This was one of my favorites of the year. Highly recommend it. I will leave my top 10 of 2023 link down below so you guys know what books I loved and why I love this book so much. Highly recommend it if you guys have not read it. Alexandra Bellfleur will be on my auto-buy authors list just from this novel alone. It's sapphic, it's queer, it's just like right up all the alleys. And the things that Gemma says to Tansy have my knees buckling. Like, if I could fan cast Gemma, I understand like she's supposed to be like a model thing kind of thing, but Gemma's like whole personality gives me very big Renee Rapp vibes, so I would fan cast her as Renee Rapp. Just saying. I am also obsessed with Renee Rapp, so it doesn't know by the next one is A Gathering of Light by V.E. Schwab. This is the third and final book third and final book to the original trilogy for the A Darker Shade. This follows Kel as he is the last person who can travel between worlds, and he is traveling between worlds to figure out exactly how to keep the peace between the kingdoms and all that fun stuff. I've had mixed feelings on this series. I enjoyed the first one. The second one was a big miss for me. The pacing just was not there. So I'm intrigued to see what happens in the third one and to see if that'll either keep me propelling forward to pick up the fourth, or if I'm just going to leave it at the third book and just keep it at that. I'll let you guys know in a wrap-up sometime. The next one is Freddy vs. the Family Curse by Tracy Badois. This is a middle grade novel following young Freddy who is cursed by the family curse. He is unlucky in every aspect of the word, like man can't catch a break. That is until one day he finds what he thinks is a good luck charm, only to realize that his great ancestor, who started the curse is trapped in this little coin. And if he does not find a way to break the curse or figure out how to fix the curse by then he too will get trapped in this little charm, much like his ancestor. I don't know if I have a vlog on it, but I should have my wrap up on it back in October, so I will leave that link down for you to watch and see my full thoughts. I enjoyed it. It's a cute little Filipino middle grade novel. Highly recommend it. It's very cute, it's funny, it's fluffy. It's just like exactly what you need to tell like a little kid, or have a little kid read for the spooky season that will not scar them for the rest of their lives. The next one is one that I'm very sad about because I will be unhauling it, but I thought I'd haul it and then unhaul it. I don't know. In my brain, it makes sense. I don't know if it will to you. But I just love this cover so much, and that is The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshani Chokshi. I love a good gothic novel. I think some of my favorite novels that I can think of are gothic novels. Plain Bad Heroines is probably going to be one of those novels. This book was just, let me just talk about what this is about, and I will try not to ramble and rant on this one. But this is an adult gothic novel following an unnamed groom and his wife Indigo something blah blah blah. They have been married for quite some time now, and they have been living in wedded bliss. That is solely because he does not ask, solely because of one thing, and that is that when they started getting together, Indigo had asked him not to ask about her past, and he has kept to that promise since then. That is until Indigo gets a call that her aunt is actually dying, and the two of them have to travel back to her childhood home, the House of Dreams. And here he starts to ask questions. I think I have this in my disappointing reads of 2023, so I'll link that video for you guys so you guys can see it. But it was just, I wanted more from this book, and when I finished the book, I could just literally feel the knowledge that I gained from it, like what the book was about, the plot points, the characters seeping from me, and there wasn't really a big like reveal or something super dramatic that I had expected to kind of redeem this book for me. But like I said, I'll leave my disappointing reads so you can see more in depth about what exactly about this book was just not the thing for me. Had high expectations. I think at this point I probably won't be picking up any of Roshani Chokski's books. I don't think her writing style necessarily fits with me. The next one is Alone in the Ether by Olivia Blake. This is one of Olivia Blake's self-pubs that has been since published or has been republished into the area. I don't know entirely what this one is about. I've heard it's like a cute little love story, I think. I could be very wrong, but it's like an academic, fantastical love story, I want to say. When I get to reading the book, I'll have my actual thoughts and synopsis, but I'm intrigued by this. I enjoyed the Alice 6, which you guys can see peeking out here from the Valentine's Day card, and I have yet to read the Alice Paradox, which is the silver book right here. So hoping I get a chance to read that book, but I will be reading Alone in the Ether, which is around here somewhere. I think it's this one here. I'm intrigued, so we'll see. Next, we have Tales from the Cafe by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This is the sequel to Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I have mixed things on The Coffee Gets Cold. I thought I enjoyed it, but then I saw some reviews and I realized that it's probably not my favorite collection of short stories. But basically what Before the Coffee Gets Cold is about is like there's a specific cafe that has a single seat that allows you to turn back time and go back to any time period you want. There are just a couple of stipulations. You cannot leave the cafe, you can't like get up from the seat, and you have to drink all your coffee before it gets cold. I found the first book very engaging, but it was lacking something for me in terms of like feeling and emotions and like characters I could root for, but I thought I had enjoyed it, so I picked up Tales from the Cafe. So hopefully the sequel does a little bit more for me, but if not, then I will be hopefully helping these books find a different home, because it's not the most like memorable one that I've read, but I thought I had enjoyed it due to the hype when I did read it, so we'll see where I'm at after the second book. The next book is The Heart Forager by Ren Gepetto. This is a YA fantasy novel following young Taya, who finds out she is a bone witch, which is a very like frowned upon form of witch. She is sent to the capital to find out how to train her powers and how to be like useful to the royal family. This is the sequel to that. I read The Bone Witch way back in, I want to say 2020, 2021. I don't remember. I want to say 2020. I think I was in my apartment by then. I enjoyed it. I just haven't had a chance to pick up the sequels, and I've heard really good things about the book. So I'm very excited to pick up the books and see where I can go with it, and hopefully I enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed the first one. Because I think about the first one very often. I really do enjoy the first book. It's, I think, one of my favorites, so hopefully the series does not let me down. It's snowing. I hate it. The next one is The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. This is an adult contemporary, I want to say. I don't have like the plot committed to memory, but I have been eyeing this book for a hot minute now. So I finally bit the bullet and bought the book. I have it sitting on my shelf, so I'm hoping to be able to read it and I'll enjoy it as much as everyone else has really enjoyed reading this book. I feel like it's right up my alley, judging by the people who have enjoyed it. I tend to line up with in terms of books. So fingers and toes crossed. Hopefully I'll enjoy it. The next one is 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes. This is, I want to say, like, it's an adult retelling of the Trojan War, following all of the women from the, from the Trojan War, I want to say. Let me just pull up the book here because it's, like, right next to me. Yeah, so it's talking about all of the women in the Trojan War. I'm interested in this one because I have read Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker, which is following Breezy's during the Trojan War, and I wasn't a big fan of that one. I felt like while it told me all of the events that happened and gave more depth to the male characters, I feel like Breezy's as a character was just not fleshed out. She felt very flat, so I'm intrigued to see how 1,000 Ships goes. I'm just because I've heard really good things about this author and the book, and I've been, again, one of these books that I have been meaning to purchase for a while, but I just never have. So fingers crossed, and hopefully it'll get me back into like more retellings, because I have been in a bit of a retelling slump since I read Silence of the Girls, because of course. Next we have two cocktail books my boyfriend got me for Christmas, and that is, one of them is The Witch's Brew, which is like all cocktails kind of like based on like witchy vibes. And I believe this one offers non-alcoholic versions as well, which is great because my mom can't drink alcohol anymore. Then I have Dungeon Meister, which is like a D&D themed cocktail book. I told my boyfriend that I want to get into cocktails, or like starting to make cocktails, just because I'm like, we have so much alcohol in the cabinets that we do not drink. I don't even know how we accumulated that much. So I was like, cocktails could be fun. You know, they look cool. They're typically a little sweeter than like having the liquor flat. So then I got a Howl's Moving Cookbook from Armin for Christmas. It's all like Studio Ghibli. It's a Studio Ghibli themed cookbook. Starting all like the recipes from Studio Ghibli. I flipped through it again. I'm very intrigued, and I think I'll probably end up trying these recipes in the near future, because it's Studio Ghibli and the food always looks amazing in Studio Ghibli. So here's the praying that maybe I will make it look amazing. I don't know yet. And moving on to the last physical copy that I purchased, the last, I want to say, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 6 books will be books that I received from Stuff Your Kindle Day, but this one is A Prince of Song and Sea by Lindsay Miller. It's like Little Mermaid, but follows Eric's perspective, and I believe in this one, Eric was given a curse as well, thinking that the woman that he falls in love with will die. I think this curse was from his mother. His mother told him about this curse. I'm very intrigued about this one. I love Prince Eric. Is one of my favorite Disney princes. There's something about a man who will go to great lengths to save your life even though you've only known him for like 3 days. That just does something to me. Like Prince Philip, man didn't even know her for 24 hours and was like, I'm gonna marry her, I'm gonna fight the dragon of hell for her, I'm gonna break a curse for her. Prince Eric's like, I'm gonna fight a giant octopus and nearly drown for you. Like, it just does something to me. And Prince Philip is actually the next book in this like series, so I'm very excited to see where these two books go, because I'm very interested in these rewrites. I guess these next 6 books I can just read the synopsis to you guys, because I have no idea. I don't remember what these books are about. But this one is The Glass Palace by Katherine Tratner. Again, I received these 6 books during the Fantasy Stuff Your Kindle Day. I will be participating in future Stuff Your Kindle Days, because free books. It's like a handful of books they pick out, but it's free. I'm not gonna say no to free book. This is an adult fantasy romance. See, that doesn't make sense because it says, is it young adult? It doesn't make sense. It says adult then young adult. But this is in some age category fantasy romance following Astrid in an arranged marriage. And it's a really long synopsis. So I'm going to say it just follows Astrid in an arranged marriage that she does not want to be in. And it says here, immerse yourself in this spellbinding retelling of the classic fairy tale of East of the Sun, West of the Moon, where romance and adventure collide in an unforgettable tale of love and magic. It sounded cool when I picked it up. I haven't read it yet, so clearly I don't know the synopsis of the book very well, but a girl can try. The next one is Dream by the Shadows by Logan Carley. This is a gothic young adult fantasy romance. That was a mouthful. I don't know too much about this. It's also a very long synopsis. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's a long one, but it sounds very interesting. I'm always a fan of gothic fantasies, so I'm intrigued to see where this one falls. It's also on the younger adult spectrum, so I'll see how that works out. I have enjoyed some YA gothic novels, one of them being A Place for Vanishing by Anne Freistadt, review of that as well. But I'm intrigued to see, because I'm very finicky about my gothic novels, I've learned. Then I have Curse of Thorns by Michelle Aru. I want to say, I think it's like a dark academia. Yeah, it's a dark academia fantasy. It has witches, it's paranormal, there are werewolves involved. Again, I'm a sucker for werewolves. I'm a sucker for the paranormal romances, as we've learned. So maybe this will just help me come back to my roots and really just hammer in the fact that I'm a paranormal romance girly at heart before I'm anything else. Which I think my predictions list kind of did that, but we're not going to talk about her right now. Then we got Whisper of Witches by Nikita Rogers. This is an adult fantasy romance. Again, I think it's paranormal romance as well, which I'll never say no to. It looks like, okay, so it's more fantasy than it is paranormal. But it's about a witchy journalist who goes to learn about the occult in a certain area and meets a boy, and it seems really cute and fun and fluffy. And maybe I'll read that next in an attempt to give my mind a break from plain bad heroines, because it's been like on my brain nonstop because I'm trying to finish the book, because the physical copy was taking way too long, so I was like, I'm going to do the audiobook. And I'm enjoying the audiobook more, but it's still really, really dense as an audiobook, so I'm just like, ugh. And the second to last book I got was Heroines of Olympus by River Bennett. This is a retelling, I want to say, an adult queer Greek mythology retelling, which is probably why I grabbed it in the first place. And it talked about, I think all of the women who have been like messed up because of the Greek men in their lives, which I'm always here for some slander. So I'm very intrigued to see it. It's queer, it's part of a series, it's Greek mythology. Can't say no. It has Medusa on the cover, and I'll never say no to my girl Medusa. Then finally, the last book that I have is The Heart Between Kingdoms by Anne Kedsley and Mary Dublin. This is an adult fantasy novel, I want to say. It only says fantasy in the genre, which makes things a little hard, but it's talking about fey princesses and magic and romance, and again, I'm never going to say no to getting back to my roots when I first started this channel, which was paranormal romances, some fantasy, and lots of fae. So very excited for this one. Hopefully I will enjoy it. But that is it for all the books that I have hauled for right now. If you guys want me to do reviews on any of these books, if you guys have missed a review on them, I'll have them all linked down below. If I have done reviews or vlogs for them, as well as just general links to the books, so you guys can check them out. But like I said, if you want me to do any reviews on them, let me know in the comments and I'll go ahead and do them for you. I love a good review. I get to ramble, I get to complain, I get to rant, I get to do all the stuff. But until next time, hit like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Until then, stay safe. Bye!